Hey, it's the Big Schools Birdwatch. So let's get all you twitchers out there creating graphics of birds using Adobe Express. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is start with the template. I'm going to show you something really simple, really quick and easy. So you could just put bird in there. There's all sorts of different things on here. I really like this one. You could be looking at the most common birds that you see in your playground, local park, whatever that is, and you can just go in, replace those images. Make sure you press replace, because that will mean they'll go in the same shape. But you might want to play around with things like the text, the colors, the background as well, just by clicking it, going over to replace. But let me take you back home. Don't want to save that. And I'm actually going to search for animal alphabet, because this is a really simple way that you can create a very striking, very simple piece of artwork, which could become a collective display, which you can put up on the school, or you can give to other classes, for example, lower down the school. So let's start with this one, E for elephant. Now, this is truly really simple. This has got all sorts of different things going on in here. You can click your layer stack here, or work in your layers in your iPad, for example, and start playing around with different things. So in terms of the background, it's got this kind of flecked asset going on here. If I click it and then press replace, now I'm just going to go into design assets here. I'm going to search for background. I'm going to come up with something different. Maybe something like this one. I really like that. It's very striking. Now, we've also got something going on here as well. Now, it's the white background you can see behind the elephant, and also this kind of orangey brown surround that's got going on. So we're going to ungroup that. You can see that the orangey brown surround then can be selected on its own, and I'm just going to delete it. I want to keep it more simple than having different layers on there and things like that. Also, don't really like this gray background, so let me go in there and choose something a little bit more appropriate. There we go. That's more striking now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete that elephant there. I'm going to go over to photos and I'm going to search for parakeet. And here we go. We've got all sorts of things in here. Now, I think the ones that I've seen are more traditionally like these ones here. Now, if I put that in, it kind of cuts them off. You see, there's only kind of a half image. So I don't really want that. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to choose this one instead. Now, you can see the white background is slightly different to the white background of the actual image itself. So let me go in there and select that. And it's a sort of off-white color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the circle in the color wheel there, or the color palette. I'm going to match it to that one by taking it right up into the top left until it displays all the Fs. Then I can get this parakeet and I can start playing with where it sits, for example. Now, don't worry too much about it overlapping. I'm not really too bothered about that. Then I can use my remove background tool. So let's click that. It's going to do all sorts of magic in the background. And there we go. Click the tick and we're all done. So we can go to the text now. Obviously, it's not E for parakeet, it's P for parakeet. I'm going to keep the same font just to make it easy. But I'm actually going to turn it into a black font because I think that's more classy. And then down here, instead of E is relevant, we can say P is for parakeet. Change the color again. Nice, look at that. A very stylish graphic which you can print out and use as a display around your school. So you can download it to your machine. Let me give it a new name, parakeet. Download it. And then you can also press share, publish, send it to Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, or create a link. Okay, that's the first very simple example done. Now let's do something completely from scratch. You're going to press the plus, go to custom size graphic, do something that's easy for your teachers to print out if they want to. Going to do the A4, click next. Completely blank screen here. So what I'm going to do is going to create a kind of worksheet, I suppose. So let me just go here and just go to square. Get a normal square. You can choose whatever color you want. I'm going to go with that kind of parakeet type color. So let me go back in here. That one will do quite nicely, I think. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building up a worksheet, because you might want to put facts and figures about different birds that you see when you're doing your bird watching. So let me grab these. You can see how the dotted lines here make it really easy for me to put them in the right place. And then just to keep it easy, because I want to keep the same size for all of them, I'm just going to duplicate each one of those. But then I can click and select over all of them, or on the iPad you can click multi-select, and then you can move them all at once. I'll put those kind of in the middle there. That looks about right to me. And then I'm also going to go to parakeet in my images, I'll grab this one again, and then I'm going to drag it out so it kind of fills this worksheet. And then again, I'm going to press remove background, click the tick. There we go. Okay, what do we need to do next? We need to put some text in. So let me just add some random text here. So this is going to be a bird name. I'm going to put a colon and then a whole load of underscores there to make a kind of line where you can write things in if you want to give this to somebody else in your class, for example, so that they can fill it in themselves. But what I don't like here is the font. I'm going to go for this one, Nexa Rust. Pretty cool. And then I'm just going to keep it black. And then for my next sections, I can just add in the different things that I want that person in my class or myself, for example, to actually go away and research about the birds that I've seen. So I'm going to start off with interesting facts. Now, clearly the text is too big there, so I'm going to have to keep on adjusting it until it comes down to the kind of size I'm looking for. Now I've got that and I know what kind of size I'm looking for. I'm going to duplicate that. And this is where I can put it in to the other boxes in my worksheet. There we go. And you could go to something like design assets. You could search for something like birds, for example, see what comes out. You could do things a different way and go into something like backgrounds. And you could search for something like bird, put that in, see what you get. And I think this one is quite cool. So it gives it a little bit of depth and makes it a little bit more dynamic. And again, once you're done, give it a name, bird fact file. And then you're ready to download and also press share. Publish, send it to Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, or create your link. And there you go. That's how easy it is to create graphics for the Big Schools Birdwatch using Adobe Express. And I'm looking forward to seeing yours.